with Red True Crime again, video number 2. So, before I go into this, if you have not already done so, please subscribe, like, and share any of the videos or subscribe to the channel. Doesn't cost anything. It is completely free. Helps with the algorithm, with everything else I talk about on this channel. Um, so for those of you who have just signed in for the first time or seen me for the first time, my name is Rebecca. This is my channel, Red True Crime. On here, we discuss missing people cases, historical crimes, um, things that are happening right now. Like I've talked about the Sean Diddy case. Just lots of things that keep popping up. So this is going to be one that's just popped up here in the last couple weeks, and I do want to talk about this. And for those of you who have not heard about this, this is about the Virginia State track tournament that went on, where one track star assaulted another track star on the track. So I think this was March 3rd where this happened, and they were in Plymouth, Virginia. So you have Kaylin Tucker, who is running, and you have Alayla Everett, who is also running. So you see them going around the track. Alayla's ahead, and Kayla Tucker is coming up behind her. And you see where Caitlin Tucker is, bypassing Aaliyah Everett, or Layla Everett. And as she gets in front of Alayla, you see, you know, Alayla with the baton, because it's a relay race. She's got the baton in her arms up like this, which again, I didn't run track, but I've seen enough events. You don't do that when you're running. You don't have your arms up like that. It doesn't work like that. So she's got it up like this, and next thing you know, you see her arm come down and then back up and then down, and then you see Kayla Tucker run off this way and go flat. So her family, hello, um, Miss Tucker's family is like, okay, this was assault. We were there in the stands. We saw this go down. No apology from the other girl. Nothing. Everybody's. I'm Rebecca with Red True Crime. So hi. So her attitude is, we didn't get an apology. This is assault. Blah 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 blah. Alayla Everett, the assaulter, is saying it was an accident. She got in front of me. The baton was there. I got caught. I was pulling it up, and then, you know. So hello everybody who's joining. But and however, I've watched this. There's so many different angles. Do I need an attorney? You can hook me up. Mike Oxlong. There you go. Hey, everybody. So I've seen this video. There were so many people there with their phones videoing what was going on. They weren't videoing to see her assault somebody, but they were videoing their own children running in this relay race. And so there's many different angles from how this was shown. And having watched it myself, I think it's assault, because my thing is, okay, yeah, I can buy the whole it got stuck and you pulled your arm back and you hit her by accident one time. One hit is an accident. Two hits or more is assault. So I'm going to play this for you all, and you tell me what you think. Make sure it's playing. There we go. Yeah, you see her going, she's getting ready to go down. She grabs her head, she goes down. So, yes, I agree with you. I think one hit, I'm pretty sure one hit's also assault. I'm just saying if she's trying to go with the accident scenario, like, hey, it was, my arm got caught, it was an accident. I can buy that with one, but if you're hitting more than once, yeah, no, that's not an accident. So since this has gone down and this has gone viral, yeah, I agree with you, everybody. She did that on purpose. I really think she did. The girl, Kaylin Tucker, had already beat a state record earlier that day in the 50-yard dash. So she already was breaking records. I think this girl, Alayla Everett, I think it was jealousy. She's a senior. Yeah, I like that. It was an accident, I swear. And then boom. Yeah, exactly. Um, one girl's a sophomore. The one who got hit, the one who did the hitting, is a senior. She's been charged with assault, and is going to court for this. Yeah, probably. Very tired of getting beat. But I truly believe this girl was unhinged. Like, how dare she pass me? You know, that speaks to so many other psychological factors going on there, in my opinion. But her family's like, no, it was an accident. No. Yeah, it is hard to run with a concussion. I've tried. Oh, it's just a backdrop. Anyway, but so yeah, my thought is it was definitely on purpose. I think that girl should get charged with assault, um, because a concussion is permanent damage to your brain. I've had five, so I'm a little wacky at these days. And 5 big booms. Okay, yeah, 5 big booms. But like I said, I think the girl should go to jail. Not, I don't know, if she should go to jail, but she definitely should feel some type of repercussion. Um, because like I said, the girl who got hit, her family's just wanting an apology. They're not really. Um, no, because the girl who did the hitting is 18. She's an adult. So she's going up for grown up time. Definitely grown up time. I mean, I'll say this: if she was any type of decent track star, from what I understand, she is. Um, any college scholarship she was looking for is or was being offered is probably gone at this point because of the media. Yeah, pretty much. So that's my thought. I would love to hear your thoughts. Do you think she deserves jail time, or do you think she just deserves like a slap on the wrist and a lot of therapy? What do you guys think? Because I think she's got a clean record. I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of torn on that part. I think she should be prosecuted, but I don't know whether she should do jail. Okay. Got one for jail, another for jail. Well, same person for jail. But yeah, that's a good question because, you know, where do we stand on that? Do you think, like I said, I think a lot of it comes down to it was the fact that it was intentional for me. And because of the fact that it was intentional, that goes to intent. And then, they keep saying, oh, she's a good person. She's all these things. She's, straight A student and all this other stuff. And I'm just kind of like, that's great, but she can be a sociopath too and have no emotion and no feelings for smacking some girl in the back of the head. I mean, she could have killed her. I mean, like, there's a part of your brain, like, that the base of your skull does not protect your, like, part of your spinal cord. And if she had hit her in the wrong spot, like, they're running, so it's kind of hard to um, be accurate with hitting, but she had hit her in the nape of her neck, that could have killed her. That could have kept her from breathing. So, okay, lost Al wouldn't say jail. Okay. I mean, but that's my whole thing is she hit her. I mean, that was not an accident, that was intentional. So, yeah. And I don't think, like I said, I don't know if she needs to do jail time, but she definitely needs to be on some type of like probation with mandatory therapy and determine if she's an aggressive, violent individual. You know, what were they playing? They were running. They were doing they were doing a relay race. So where the part where you run and then you have a baton and then you run really fast and the next person takes the baton and carries it on for the next and blah blah blah. Yeah, these girls were the anchors. So they're the ones who finish the race. They're usually your fastest people on your team. And so these girls were the anchors on their respective school teams. Yeah, exactly. Lost Al, I agree. Yeah, she's definitely lost any scholarships that were coming to her. Definitely has. So, and that's a shame, you know. It's okay. I understand that they made it into a contact sport, but they're not supposed to make it a contact sport, Fahim. So I like that. I had a chuckle at that, but yeah, it's not cool, man. You know? Um, yeah, because last time I checked, track and field was not a contact sport. Or if she decided to make a contact sport, she should have at least put the memo out for everybody else. Yeah, her life has already changed permanently. Yeah, I mean, the girl who did the hitting, her life has changed. And the girl who took the hit, her life has changed. I mean, you don't know what kind of damage that her mind, her brain took from that hit. She could have like constant headaches. She could have issues with her vision. I mean, anything. Like I said, I've had 5 concussions myself, and the last concussion gave me chronic headaches. I have a headache every single day, and these are things I deal with. So you didn't think the hit was that bad? Actually, it doesn't take much to get hit. But they did say when she got hit, I mean, she fell to the ground. She fell to the ground. Um, so I mean, she fell to the ground, and they said she had a skull fracture too. Have I gotten used to the headaches? Ah, let's see. The last concussion I got was almost 2 years ago. I was in a car accident with my daughter. We got T-boned, and they diagnosed me with something called post-concussion syndrome. So it's something that should go away on its own, and generally it goes away over a couple of weeks or months, but mine's gone on for 2 years. So I have, unfortunately, that small part of the population that has to deal with crap all the time. So yeah, I guess you could say I've made it, it's part of my life every day. I just deal, unfortunately. Mm. But there's some people who just don't deal well with it at all, and they abuse other substances to deal. Oh, okay. So, I mean, again, this was like a state championship tournament type thing that they were doing. So this was a big deal. And the girl who got hit and fell, she was already setting records earlier that day in other races. So I got to believe that the one who did the hitting just wasn't going to let her beat her too. Just it just got way too competitive. I mean, anybody could have a lapse in judgment, a moment where they're like, "Hey, I want to just smack that girl," and the next thing you know, they're smacking that girl, and they're like, "Oh, I did not realize I was actually going to do that." That can happen. You saw the one that did the hitting, Lost Al by Fahim. No, thanks, Fahim. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I saw the interviews for both of them, and the one that got hit seemed nice, and the one that did the hitting, I she was crying. I felt a little bit of sympathy for her, but I don't know. I mean, I've known some mean girls in my time when I was in school that could have turned on the waterworks just to take off some culpability of doing things. You know, I don't know. Like I said, women can be pretty damn. devious. That's just what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, exactly. I think if she had came forward and said, "Look, the anger got the better of me. I reacted poorly, blah blah blah." I definitely think that would have changed a lot of things. I think the parents of the girl that got hit would have been like, "Okay, yeah." Well, the thing is, Doodle Bob. I mean, she was kind of on the ground, so it was kind of hard for her to get back up and hit the girl that hit her. So I'm just saying that would be a little hard for them to do. But I think once she got her noggin back on straight, I think she definitely wanted to go after her. I know I would have, um, because I don't know. I said I think so much could have been made better had the girl come forward immediately and said, "Oh my God, I cannot believe I just did that," or "I'm so sorry," or hell, she could have stuck to it was an accident and still said she was sorry, and it probably would not have gone viral like it has all over the internet and everybody making a comment on it because I mean, I played high school sports. I was played softball, I played volleyball, I cheered, I did all that stuff when I was young. And competition's fierce, man. I mean, you get some people that take that stuff way seriously, especially the ones that are using sports as their way to pay for college because so much more is riding on that. So the pressure is that much worse on them to perform and to do well to get those scholarships so they can go to school and further their education. But I'll tell you, man, I've seen some things because I went to school. I remember I was on the softball team. I wasn't the best player, but I wasn't the worst. I had, you know, my thing was I couldn't run. Now I could run, but like I wasn't super fast. I could throw, I could hit, I could catch, but running was not my thing. Still not my thing. And I remember getting very frustrated because my coaches were on my ass, like, move it, get out there and run. I was a natural. Nah, I don't know. I was a natural at sports. I just, I played. And I remember they got on me, and I remember this one coach. I was crying, and he said, "There's no crying in baseball, Rebecca. There's no crying." And this is before A League of Their Own came out when I heard that. So I was like, okay. So, I mean, that coach, he had a handlebar mustache. He was kind of a trip. He was the father of one of the girls on the team. Like our coaches were like fathers of three of the girls on the team. So it was kind of like, okay, I remember him yelling at me and praying to God my mother was going to come over there and like chew his ass out. Tell that to the demon. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, hey, tears, it happens. But I mean, I will say this playing sports did make me tougher, did make me a little bit more resilient and a little bit more competitive. I mean, does it make you demand more in life? I'm not going to lie about that. But I don't know if I would have assaulted somebody though. Would I have wanted to? Yes. There were definitely people like, oh, great story from my younger years. So softball team, we were doing really well. We were pretty much undefeated. And there was this one team that I don't know what the heck they were thinking they were going to do because they all had their hair done, like curled and sprayed, and they had makeup on, and we're like, "What are you doing?" Because we're in full baseball gear, like cleats and the whole nine yards. So it was crazy. And I remember we were practicing, and they were practicing right before the game, warming up. Oh, bye, Doodle Bob. Have a great night. And one of them broke a nail. She's like, "Oh my God, I broke a nail." And one of the girls on my team's like, "Oh, isn't that just precious?" And then they started calling us lesbians. It was a whole thing. And then we ranted. Our battle cry was break some nails. It was kind of fun. I remember that was a long time ago, very long time ago. And I remember we won. I mean, we beat everybody in the division. When it got down to the final tournament, though, we lost actually like by like the second or third game. I was on vacation, like when they lost. So and there's my sports story. And then there, I played volleyball and did not play in high school. I didn't make the high school team, but I did do well in college. Walk on. I remember I was in a intramural volleyball tournament, and the coach for the girls volleyball team in college was there helping referee the whole thing. And I there's three girls that were on the volleyball team in college that I went to high school with that were just complete bitches. And I remember smacking that ball right in their faces too. And the coach came to me and she's like, I could use you. And I'm like, eh. I played. I played until I dislocated my shoulder and tore my labrum. So I didn't get too much time. But I did play. I can actually say I played in college. So all right, well, let's just say this for the story. I think the girl has a lot of explaining to do. She's gonna have to find a lot of like inner peace in herself to deal with what she dealt with. And just be honest. I think the world would respect her a hell of a lot more if she just was honest and transparent and said, yeah, I hit the bitch. Sue me. I don't know. I mean, yeah, they're going to forget about it and then it's going to come back up because now it came back up because she's been charged formally with assault. So I think once the whole court thing's done with, or once it finishes out, it'll come up again and then it'll die down. But I don't think she's going to look down. I mean, like I said, her college prospects are probably majorly in question right now, the scholarships. But yeah, most likely you are correct. I think that is probably most likely what's going to happen. She's going to get probation and community service. I believe that's what's going to happen there because she has no previous record and she's never been a discipline problem at school and a lot of that's going to go a long way for her. So I think that's most likely what's going to happen. So, well, I'm going to hop off here because there's not a whole lot more to talk about with this case. So, but yeah, I applaud you all, or I encourage you all to go to YouTube, look up the videos because there are so many out there and they're all from different angles. And you can literally make your best judgment about what you think happened. But no matter the angle, I'm 110% sure she did that on purpose. And that's my take. So, all right, everybody. So this is Rebecca with Red True Crime. I'm gonna hop off here. As I always say, be weird, be rude, be safe, because if you're weird and rude, they will not take you. I guarantee. So, but if you have not subscribed, please subscribe and share, like, comment. I've got over 180 videos on here, talk about lots of different topics. And I just did one on Victory Plouffe, which was one of the oldest missing child cases that's unsolved in the United States. So that happened in West Jay, Vermont. So I recommend watching that. I did that a little while ago before I hopped on and did this. So everybody have a good night. Thank you again. Rebecca with Richard Crime. I'm out.